YouTube, this is JV111 here, and welcome back to my modded Minecraft spotlights. So we're basically going to start this mod off with a request that I made to a mod author to allow me to do a mod spotlight, and that mod author happens to be Copygirl, and her mod, Better Storage. So let's get right on into it. So first, I need to let you guys know that this mod is now publicly available as of the time of this recording. It is available for 1.6.4. Um, the exact version I'm recording will be in the details and inside of the title, so you guys can enjoy it. And best part is, it's Thaumcraft compatible, specifically Thaumcraft 4, as you can tell by my Sword of Zephyr. And it has a few little neat little items that's Thaumcraft ready or specific, and you guys can find them at your own leisure. I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to make them or really where you can get them. That'll be up to you to find out. No, I'm just going to explain to you the basics of this mod and what you can do. So let's get right on to it. So first, you're going to see that there's a thaumium chest. These are the reinforced chests. They come in various sizes, various colors, and you can double chest them. Also, various metals don't attach to each other. So you got an iron, a gold, a diamond, an emerald, which are standard. And then if you have other mods, copper, silver, I believe this one's tin? I want to say tin. Yes, tin, silver, and zinc. That's only if you have these mods available to you to actually obtain. So these four wouldn't be available. Also, there's no real benefit to making various colors of or like various other metals. So you're basically just going to look at color-wise, and they just don't attach. That's really all that it is. Also, because they're reinforced, they are resistant to creeper explosions, which is always a benefit. Uh, and that's really all there is to do with these reinforced chests. Oh, also there is some additional storage, slightly more than a normal chest, so we can get ourselves a normal double chest. Get two. Well, I'm in creative mode, so it doesn't matter. You can tell the difference. Like right here, we have a 6 by what appears to be 9 storage. And in this double chest, we have a 6 by what appears to be, so there's 9, 13 storage. So you got quite a bit more room in these reinforced chests. The recipe is a little expensive for these ones though. So here's a recipe in this handy dandy work table. You're gonna get 3 oak logs, iron logs, 4 iron ingots, and a block of iron with a chest will net you the reinforced chest. And like I stated before, there is no benefit to using other metals other than they don't enchant or they don't like combine if you want to have single chests floating around. So if you have a bunch of iron, use a bunch of iron. If you have a boatload of diamonds, use a boatload of diamonds, and so on and so forth. Uh, the di the diamonds look pretty cool though. The emerald one looks pretty cool. I really like the look of the metal with the wood. This is actually a really good texture for these ones. So there's the reinforced chests. Next, we're going to go into, if you guys have watched Generic B at all, and his Hexit series, these are his favorite things in the world. These are the storage crates. These are pretty much like danger zone crates, because basically anything you put in these crates stay in the crates. So each one has a 2 by, it looks like a standard inventory minus 2 slots, or minus 2 uh, rows? Yeah, rows. So you can put anything in there, and it constantly mixes up. So it never stays in the same place twice. So that's why you have inventory tweaks. Oh, it's starting to become day or nighttime. Let's change that. And the way these things work is really weird, but also kind of neat. So let me get a storage. Let me just get one for you guys. Better. And you'll notice that like you can attach them various ways. So here's a 2 by 2, here's another 2 by 2, here's another 2 by 2, and here's another 2 by 2, and they'll just add on to each other. the form of a 2 by, I can't remember what this is, 9 storage. So it's constant 2 by 9 storage for everyone created. But here's a trick to them. You have to build them in cubes. You can't build them, like, I'll give you an example. Let's say I have 2 here, and I want to add 1 more right here. Not gonna happen. It'll pop off, and you have to get it back. So in order to continue an expansion this way, you would first have to build it like this, and then like this, because it needs to have needs to just constantly be attached. You can still have one like this, so you can have access to this one and like store it in like a wall. Let me show you. Stone. Get a bunch of stone, and like say for example you have this hidden in a wall, and it looks like there's only one storage crate. In reality, you have multiple storage crates. Now, the problem with inventory tweaks is it blocks the most important feature of the storage crate, which is this progress bar. So as you pour multiple items, so let's try not to get the infinite versions of this. Let's just get a bunch of stuff here. Go back to mod, or at mod.better, and we start putting in a bunch of these things. You're going to notice in the top corner there is a progress bar, and it's just starting to fill up, and that will let you know how much more room you have. So yes, inventory tweaks is great in most mod packs, but if you're using better storage, take it off. And the best thing is everything gets shoved into the whatever crate you're not using. So that's always fun to know. Wait, what? Uh-oh, something derpy. I want to get rid of these. Delete mode. Huh. I may have found a bug. I'm just going to do this very quickly. All right, here we go. So yeah, so this is the configuration, and realistically, this is very cheap storage for what you get. Four oak, or whatever planks you have handy, and 4 sticks. Stupidly cheap storage. And I'm going to show you at the end of the spotlight what you could do with this stupidly cheap storage. If some of you have already thought about it, it really breaks a certain mod, but it does it in such a fun way that it just makes it fun. It's incredible. So the next item up for bid is the backpacks. Neat little backpacks. Right click them, you have an inventory slot, and the cool thing is, if you shift, you wear them. How neat is that? Oh yeah, that's right. There's technically only 2 different backpacks. One you can make, one you need to find. Well, considering this is an ender backpack, I'm guessing you know where you need to find it, or how. This is the Thaumaturge's backpack, and it kind of has, from it looks like, the same inventory space as a Thaumaturge, or like a normal iron, or a normal reinforced chest. So if you have Thaumcraft 4 and you're able to obtain said amazing backpack, I would use and abuse it. The neat thing is, because of the way the backpack itself is made, it's technically a chest piece, so it is enchantable. Let's go to my handy dandy. I don't want to show you guys my neat little thing over there. Handy dandy enchantment table. Place down the backpack. And look, see, we got protection 4, unbreaking 3, and thorns 2. And look, it tells you place down to sneak while place down to break while sneaking to equip. So normally, if you just crack it, it breaks and everything spills out like a normal chest. So those are pretty neat, and this is how you make it. It's a little leather heavy, so you got about the same amount of leather as a normal pair of pants, a piece of wool, any color wool will do, and a gold ingot. Now, one thing I don't know, and we're actually going to test this out right now, since we're here, is are these things dyeable? So let's get ourselves some dye. Let's get ourselves a bit of black dye. And let's get ourselves an actual crafting table. There we go. Boop, boop. They are in fact dyeable, so perfect. So you can have different backpacks similar to other backpack mods for different needs. Um, and the best thing is they are wearable instead of other backpacks mods in which it take up an inventory space. You can actually wear your backpack. So really neat, really handy. All right, so next up is another storage option we have. We have the locker and the reinforced locker. Basically, the lockers are similar to just a normal chest, but they stack upwards, which is fairly neat. These are craftable in the following way. You need some wood and a trap door. And you can also make the reinforced variety, which has similar properties as the actual reinforced chests over there. I'm showing you guys my little thing for later. And the way they're built is you need a locker and the same form or same recipe as a normal reinforced locker or no, reinforced chest, mind you, and you get yourself a reinforced locker. These are also blast resistant to creeper explosions, and there's actually a way to increase the resistance, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. So we're gonna go to the next thing. Armor stand. So this mod does add its own armor stand. There is another mod or a few other mods that actually add their own armor stand, but I like this one. It's pretty cheap. A couple iron ingots, stone slab, stick, and it's functional. So boop, 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 and I'm wearing it. And then boop, 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 boop. See, simple, easy, handy, neat. All right, so next, something that was added recently to Better Storage that Copy has been talking about for a while is cardboard. The most randomest thing to possibly add to a storage mod is cardboard. So we can have cardboard boxes. It only gives you a 1x9 row of storage, so they're really only useful for little things, the boxes wise. They do not attach at all, so they can't get like a double wide box. Although it'd be kind of cool if we can get like a refrigerator size box or something. Something to look into. And also, you can actually use a cardboard that you make them from. So you make it from paper and you get one cardboard. So you have a really efficient reed farm. You can get a lot of cardboard. The neat thing is this stuff. Yeah, guys, that's cardboard armor. It has really, really bad durability. We're going to actually look at it right now. And try and actually get the... It's not working. There we go. So the durability, that's what it looks like. The durability itself is only about 3, so I think it's just under leather. We'll see that right now. Yeah, so it's a half a half armor under leather. Get rid of these because we don't want them anymore. But the cool thing about this cardboard armor is what you can do with it. Let me show you. Crafting table. Get some dye. How do I spell that right? Alright, so let's get some white dye. So, yes, like leather armor, you can in fact dye it. So now let's get ourselves make the armor stand look like the abominable snowman. Or kind of like really cheesy. Almost looks like iron armor. Well, you can troll your friends. Here's some iron boots. Yeah, if no one really has seen iron boots before or iron leggings, you could troll people really bad. But the cool thing that this adds is it also adds tools, so the tools are garbage and probably your loses. But the following, wait till you see what this can do. This is a really neat thing that I'm really happy was added. Where's my, there you are. What do I want on it? Let's put on respiration. That's right. For no cost, if you have an enchanted book, you can have enchanted cardboard armor. So you could theoretically have some pretty decent armor if you get a bunch of like protection and unbreaking and yeah, out of cardboard, out of paper. Who knew? Let's get back to creative. So the way you make the armor and the tools, which are right here. Standard method for making the tools, standard method for making the armor, using cardboard. Really all you need to know about cardboard. Uh, I'm hoping there'll be more implementation of cardboard later, maybe as a replacement for certain things. Maybe have like cardboard books or other various things of cardboard, just to kind of increase the usability of this, make it kind of a really neat functionality of this mod. So there we go. So the next items: keys, locks, key rings. Woot. Let's get a couple. Mod dot better. Let's get ourselves a key, a lock, and a keyring. So the key is made this way. The lock is made X way. And the keyring is made like this. Now, what are these used for? Remember how I was saying that there was a way to increase the blast resistance on the reinforced stuff? Tartar. This lock, the way you have to make it first is you make the key. So the key is the following. So now you have the lock. The lock is made from the key you made before. You doing it this way will actually net you the key back, but also get you a lock in which can only be opened by that key. So it kind of adds a little level of security, but there's ways around it. I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you in a little bit. Now let's say you have a bunch of keys and a bunch of locks. Well, or a bunch of keys for multiple locks all over your base, or one of your friends gives you, because you are able to actually copy the key. That gets you a copy so you can get to your friends. So what are you going to do with that? Well, you make the key ring. Shift, click, and I have a 1x9 slot in which you can put all the keys you have, and you'll notice that it changes the look of the item based on how many keys you have and what keys you actually have on it. These keys are dyeable, in which you can change the pattern. So let's just show that right now. So the key itself is dyeable. So now we have a key. If you can, you kind of zoom in a little bit to that one, or let's see if I can do a quick replace. Oops. Yeah, so you can kind of see there's a little bit of dye. You can dye all your keys to match your locks. The locks are also dyeable in this respect. So you take that, and now you have a lock. There you go. You can put more colors on as you see fit. The rings themselves are not dyeable. So that's pretty much what it is for basics. So now we're going to go into more of the other stuff with it. which is the enchants you can actually get on the keys and the locks themselves. Yes, you can actually enchant these things, and here are actually the following enchants. I actually wrote them down directly from the Minecraft forums uh, site, the actual forum. So you guys, or sorry, topic, words today, difficult, sorry. You guys can see them for yourself. The information will be down below in the description. But here are the lock enchantments. So the first one is persistence. Uh, you can get from either 1 or 5, and it makes the lock harder to break and the container more resistant to explosions. So if you get potentially a persistence 5, let me just get back to daytime. A persistence 5 lock, I haven't tested this. You guys can test this on your own, but there is a chance that it would be resistant to TNT on persistence 5. So it would be an interesting thing. Build an entire house out of persistence 5 reinforced chests. Never going to break. So the next thing is security. Again, levels 1 through 5. Offers protection against key enchantments. We'll get into the key enchantments later, but when you see the key enchantments, you'll realize that there is a balancing point to just having the locks and the keys. You still have to really think about it, how you're going to do this. The next one is called shock. You can get 1 to 3, and it damages the player trying to open, unlock, or break the lock unsuccessfully. So if you have a really bad server, unfortunate, some people do, you have this mod installed, and people are always being accused of thievery and whatnot, and is actually someone stealing. There is a chance that if you try and steal something from a lock that contains the shock enchant, uh, they will actually be damaged. So you can probably hear the guy taking damage from depending on how far you are away and prevent the theft. The next one is actually something I would probably use every day of the week for my chests, and it is the trigger. Going to get it one way, similar to unbreak or not unbreaking, but silk touch. There's one level, and it makes the block emit a redstone signal when players try to open it or break it unsuccessfully. So you can create a trap chest using locks, which is kind of neat. I like that. Not everyone wants to build a trap chest, and that way people can tell. With a lock, it's really difficult to tell. All you see is it glowing. It never shows you which ones or what enchantments it has. It just shows you that it's glowing. So it's less of a telltale sign that it might be a trap. Admiral Akbar for you there. And then we're going to get into the key enchantments. So the key enchantments are the following. Lockpicking also goes from 1 through 5. Opens and unlocks a lock once, but then the level is decreased. So if you get unlocking 5, or lockpicking 5, you can in fact unlock someone's chest, um, but then it's 100% rate, but then the level goes down to 4, at which point the success rate drops to around 80%, and so on and so forth continuously, at which point you no longer have lockpicking on it. It becomes a normal key. So basically, you have like a like a really old skeleton key kind of thing, or like a master key where everything is unlocked. The next one is unlocking 5. Has the ability to open more locks than those which were crafted from it. So the unlocking ones is similar to the lockpicking, but it doesn't decrease, but the chances are really low at the lower levels. The only way you can guarantee you get successful unlocking all the time is an unlock 5, but the chance of getting that using Minecraft mechanics is really low, almost near impossible. So you're probably always going to get around unlocking, I believe, unlocking 4 or unlocking 3, maybe even lower. So you would be lockpickers out there would be out of luck, unfortunately. Although the unlocking mechanic would be interesting for dungeons. You get a key of a certain unlocking ability, and you have a chance, like knowing based on which chest you have, to get better loot from X chest if you have the proper unlocking mechanic, or you can take a chance. and unlock it. And if you do it unsuccessfully, there's probably a trigger or a shock enchant on the lock, and you're SOL. But the next one is a little scary. The morphing. Levels 1 through 5 permanently changes the key into one that would fit another lock. So the morphing mechanic, if you so use it, and you know your buddy has a lot of rare stuff in one of his chests that has a lock on it, you could technically make a completely blank key, no lock with it, try and get morphine on it, and then use the key on the lock. You now have a copy of that. You now have a key that fits that lock, which is kind of scary. It definitely adds some balancing to the lock mechanics in which the locks are no longer OP. They just create a little level of security. You still have to keep an eye on your stuff or add extra layers of security using the other lock enchants. And the cool thing about the locks, I'm going to show you right now, after I turn it back to day, is the way you use the lock, you just lock it. Problem is, I got this lock from the thing, and it really messes it up if you don't make it yourself. So you can lock various items, get it back. You can also lock the reinforced chest. I don't know if you can lock these. Nope. Can I lock these? And let's just go and just see, because it looks like it has a shift click. Nope. Not working. All right. So that's basically all the aspects of this model, all the items looked at. Here, just beep. Now, I'm going to show you something that I actually just recently found out, and I was always wondered if it was theoretically possible. I'll keep a few items in with me. Yeah, this is Thaumium. Lots of room in Thaumium because Thaumium's OP. So, a lot of people have applied energistics. And I have a lot of stuff. The cool thing about applied energistics is it's a storage system. In which the balancing factor for the storage system is the disk drives and the actual disks. But I always wondered, would there be a way to technically circumvent that using better storage? I found it. It's actually a lot easier than I expected. That's the scary thing. So there might need to be some form of balancing on Copygirl's part. In which you may need to add something that either prevents this or makes it a little more difficult. I would say make it a little more difficult. I don't want to prevent, the option of having additional storage methods. I would rather see it being as something that takes one of your items, like make another item that forces people that want to use applied energistics to use this item with your mod. So this is what I found. Here's a storage crate. Here's a simple fuzzy storage bus, and there's my items. You can actually use the crate as a storage. It's a valid inventory. And we mean all the crate is a valid inventory. Looks like any side will actually do on any size crate. This little 5x5 crates can go in excess. The biggest I've ever built using better storage is a 20 by 20 by 20. It was stupid. It literally, well, yeah, it took up more than a chunk. It was so massive, I could never fill it. Now, I'm just thinking of making a 20 by 20 using this method and use practically no fuel. That's insane. like normally if you go to apply logistics, you would need a disk drive, a controller. Well, let's just use the disk drive that we have here, or the controller that we have here. And let's go with various other, creative cell. Planar disk changed. Need to look into it. But like you get like the disk drive, and now, yeah, new animation, and you add boop boop boop. Oh, it's in coding pattern. But like, look, I got disks, and now it uses the ME drive as something else it needs to charge. But if I just break that, I don't have that issue. But I have near infinite expandable storage using storage crates. I gotta tell you, I think that's a little bit broken. um, so because I'm showing you this build, you guys are probably gonna do it. I am going to lay down this recommendation to Copygirl. Would be to find a way to tweak it. Um, if you can somehow either force the ME system into thinking that the valid storage that it's using when using your mod is actually going to use energy, I think that would be a fair balancing point. So like each one of these uses like a minuscule amount of energy, but if you have a massive, huge cube, you're going to use a good chunk of energy from your system. So you're not just constantly, you're not breaking the system. So all you have is this, and you're pretty much done storage-wise. Or another option would be, see, there's really three options to here. The first one is finding a way to tweak it. The second one is completely and totally disallowing your system to register as valid inventory to AE, which is would not be a good way to do it. It would be, you don't want to lose that ability. The third option would somehow, it's a really weird option. The third option. Third option would really, you'd have to find a way to change the way AE perceives your storage in a way that you would have to force the fuzzy storage bus or any storage bus to need to have like items in its internal inventory before it even recognizes this as a valid inventory. I think that would be a way, and that would force only those items into this. So you wouldn't have like these massive, huge cubes of just near infinite storage, but you just have like a huge buffer of various items. Like you could use this for cobble storage, or netherrack storage, or sand storage, or whatever storage. Blocks that you have in excess of, that you're never ever going to go through them, put away in a cube. I think that would be an option. The other option is leave it be. Don't do anything about it. But I want to see this mod evolve. Copy has done great work with this mod. If you guys have seen my Hexit series, you notice I do actually use that mod a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much all this mod is. It's just an alternative storage option with a couple of neat little additives. So I think that's actually going to wrap up this mod spotlight for Better Storage. So I'm going to like to thank you guys all for watching. If you guys haven't done so yet, please leave a like and a favorite for this video, and also please subscribe. That way you guys know when I put out more videos. So until next time, guys, stay frosty.